the Spirit of Community Award winner. This is NBC 10 News at 6.
Right now at 6, one of the Monroe Airport runways is closed, but will it impact your travel? We'll talk to the director to find out. And will Pinecrest Middle School have a new address? We'll take you to the meeting that has parents saying, not so fast. Plus, one business can't open up shop because the city won't let him connect to the sewer line. We tell you what they have to say. Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Chelsea Jones. Michelle is off this week. A temporary closure at the Monroe Regional Airport has caused some confusion for those seeking flights out of the Twin Cities. NBC 10's Isabel Albritton spoke to the Monroe Regional Airport director to help sort things out. Isabel, what did they tell you?
Chelsea, although the primary runway is closed, the good news is that does not mean flights are canceled.
We apologize for any inconvenience that this might have caused.
A sinkhole forced airport officials to shut down Monroe's primary runway for emergency repairs. Although the washout isn't on the runway, it's right on the edge of it.
As a result of having a hole or anything that could create a problem within the safety area of the runway, we are required to close that runway until we get it repaired.
Because the drainage line is within the safety area, as a precaution, the runway has been closed while construction crews fix the washout. Meanwhile, the airport will continue flights, but planes will take off from the secondary runway, which is shorter than the primary runway.
Airlines do not like to take off and land on that short runway when the weather is bad, say raining, things like that. So as a result of that, the airlines have to reduce the number of people that's flying, or they have to cancel that flight altogether. But the runway has always remained open.
To prevent this from happening again, the airport is working on extending the secondary runway from 5,000 feet to 6,300 feet.
Now, once that project is complete, we should never have to run into this problem again, because that way the airlines would have plenty of space to take off and land.
Phillips says the airport expects the primary runway to be ready for flights again by tomorrow. For now, live in the studio is Isabel Albritton, NBC 10, your local news leader.
Thanks, Isabel. 7 prisoners from Richland Parish are back behind bars after escaping earlier today. The inmates escaped from the Richland Parish Detention Center, and Ouachita Parish Sheriff's deputies caught up to them at the Texas Motel on Louisville Avenue. Deputies searched the motel, and all 7 were taken into custody without incident. The Richland Parish Sheriff's Office is currently investigating to determine how all 7 managed to escape. They've since been booked to the Ouachita Correctional Center on escape charges. Now, we've got the names and the mugshots of all 7 of those inmates. You can head to our website, myarklemiss.com, to see them. The Monroe Police Department is asking for the public's help in finding a missing woman. They're looking for Stacy Means. Means is a homeless woman, and she was last seen around the Salvation Army and Desert Street shelter last Tuesday. Means has a history of severe depression and is off of her medication. She has a large surgical scar on her left thigh from her knee to her hip. Please contact Monroe Police if you know where she is. Funeral arrangements have been set for former ULM President Dwight Fines. Visitation began just moments ago at 5. Well, that's about an hour ago now, but it will last to 9 p.m. tonight. It's been held at the First Baptist Church in Calhoun. Vines' funeral will be tomorrow morning at 10:30 at that same church. Vines served as president for 15 years, and during that time, ULM gained 40 new degree programs and completed major projects like the School of Nursing and Malone Stadium. He also helped oversee the ULM Foundation growing its revenue by more than $18 million. Once he left ULM, he went on to work with former Congressman John Cooksey. Vines passed away over the weekend. He was 87 years old. A business owner in Strong, Arkansas says the city is keeping him from opening up his sandwich and auto shop. NBC 10's Gabrielle Pfeiffer caught up with city officials about why the process is at a standstill.
It's been a long process for John Daniels to get his business up and running. According to him, the city is dragging their feet.
I'm not start any trouble or anything like that. I just want them to come and give me a place to hook to so I can get my plumber down here.
Daniels wants to open an auto and sandwich shop off of Strong Highway, but first he has to connect his sewer line to the city's main line. He said he can't do that until the city finds the tap. He addressed the issue with the mayor and city council over a month ago, but still nothing has been done.
I went to the city council. I've talked to the mayor. The mayor assured us that he would come out and do it, but I haven't had any success with anything yet.
City officials didn't want to go on camera, but they said they did promise to find the tap and were supposed to come out Friday, but the rain stopped them from coming. However, officials said it's Daniels that's keeping himself from opening his business. They said he didn't have the plans or a licensed plumber. The state inspector verified the plumbing company Daniels hired just called him today. Both parties will meet Tuesday to discuss the sewer hookup. In Strong, Gabrielle Pfeiffer, NBC 10. Your local news leader.
City officials told NBC 10 that workers couldn't find the tap on Friday, so they would come out today, but since we spoke with them a few moments ago, they have not yet come. Well, NBC 10 is your local election headquarters, and a Nexstar poll on the upcoming election here in Louisiana did just come out. It's showing a tight race between the Democratic incumbent John Bel Edwards and Republican businessman Eddie Rispone. When asked if the runoff election for governor were held today, which candidate would you support, Governor Edwards is ahead by 2%, well within the poll's 4% margin of error. 6% of those polls are saying they are undecided. Now, of those undecided, they were asked which candidate are you leaning towards supporting, and Edwards only has a 3-point lead among them. The Nexstar poll also looked at the race for Secretary of State. The Republican incumbent Cal Ardoin appears to be comfortably ahead of the Democrat Gwen Collins-Griop, 48-32. To see the results of other questions on the poll, including how much Louisianans are opposed to the impeachment inquiry against the president and what voters are thinking about Senator Bill Cassidy's re-election next year, head to our website, myarchimist.com. Well, Vice President Mike Pence headed to the Pelican State this afternoon for a private fundraiser for Republican candidate for governor Eddie Rispone. Earlier today, Governor Edwards said in a press conference that Rispone is avoiding public appearances ahead of the November 16th election because of his limited agenda. Rispone, on the other hand, is attempting to nationalize the runoff, tying himself to President Trump. Well, right now, Pinecrest Elementary and Middle School is hosting a meeting tonight for school board members to speak with parents about relocating the middle school portion of Pinecrest. NBC 10's Hunter Elise is at the school. Hunter, what can you tell us about the meeting?
The move allegedly has many parents upset with the school board, but tonight's meeting may clear up some of that conflict. Many parents and locals from the community are expected to attend, and Superintendent Don Coker will speak about the relocation and the process behind the move. Now, if the middle school is relocated, it will move to Woodlawn on Highway 34. That's about 6 miles north from here. We'll have the full story coming up tonight after we attend the meeting that starts in about an hour. For now, I'm live in Ouachita Parish. Hunter Elise.
Still to come on NBC 10 News at 6. Lawmakers are calling on Twitter for a change. We'll tell you what for and when they're asking for it to be done. But first, a gloomy day out there, Brian. What's ahead?
Yeah, well, it was dry at least for now, but the rain is on the way with our next system. We'll time out chances for severe weather and much cooler temps when NBC 10 News at 6 continues.
How would you like to consolidate your credit card bills, all loans, medical bills, all your bills into one payment of just $100 per month? That's the power of bankruptcy. If you qualify, just $100 per month. Call the bankruptcy specialist, E. Orem Young.
Eddie Rispone likes to talk about owning a truck.
Eddie Rispone says he likes football.
He wants to make it look like he's one of us.
But I've never been sued for failing to pay employees.
I've never gotten millions in government handouts.
I've never tried to hire foreign workers instead of people in Louisiana.
It's all a little too phony.
It is phony.
It's phony.
Phony Eddie Rispone. He's not for us.
Paid for and authorized by Gumbo Pack.
Welcome to the East Spot Vape Shop.
we invite you to come check out our great selection of the highest quality and best performing vapes on the market. Dual battery mods and sub-ohm tanks on sale now at the E-Spot Vape Shop. Ladies, every Tuesday's Ladies' Day. Get 15% off on Tuesdays at the E-Spot Vape Shop. And don't forget about our loyalty rewards. You will rack up big savings on every purchase. If you're a smoker and you're looking for a better, more effective alternative, we've got it at the E-Spot Vape Shop. Now, there's something else I want to address. Our industry's been getting a lot of bad press lately, much of it fake news. Apparently, some folks have been vaping THC and hemp oil in their e-cigs. Please don't vape oil in your e-cig. These devices are designed for water-based e-liquids, which is what we sell at the E-Spot Vape Shop. Our products are federally and state regulated and registered with the FDA. Y'all come by one of our 3 locations. We're in Monroe, West Monroe, Alexandria. You can check us out on Facebook and Google. We've got more 5-star reviews than the kindergarten and the coloring contest. Since 2014, we want to earn your business.
Foy volunteered his time and talent to design and oversee the ballpark expansion so more of our kids could play team sports.
Mr. Foy was a longtime board member at the Boys and Girls Club and is always quick to volunteer in any capacity.
Foy led the design phase and supervised construction of the all-inclusive, nationally recognized Smiles Park here at Caroli.
Hi, I'm Foy Gadberry, a common-sense, conservative businessman, and I would appreciate your vote.
How would you like to consolidate your credit card bills, all loans, medical bills, all your bills, into one payment of just $100 per month? That's the power of bankruptcy. If you qualify, just $100 per month. Call the bankruptcy specialist, E. Orem Young.
For something old or something new, Cottonport Antique Mall.
NBC 10 News at 6 continues.
Lawmakers are calling on Twitter to follow Facebook and take down all accounts that support terrorist groups. In a letter to Twitter CEO Jack Dorsey, legislators challenged him to remove all content by November 1st. Morgan Wright spoke with them and asked why Twitter should make this move.
While President Trump's tweets often draw criticism, New York Republican Congressman Tom Reed says the bigger concern is how Twitter is being used by terrorist organizations.
We should not focus on the president's Twitter. We should be focusing on the Hamas's Twitter and Hezbollah's Twitter account. Say maybe that is where we begin rooting out this evil.
Reed says the federal government and tech companies must guard against the spread of terror and hate online, including Hamas and Hezbollah. Social media companies like Facebook, Instagram, and Google have already taken action to remove the terrorist groups from their platforms.
Twitter, on the other hand, decided no, that there's some good people in Hamas and there's some good people in Hezbollah.
We do not allow them on our services.
Facebook CEO Mark Zuckerberg was pressed on the issue last week while on Capitol Hill by New Jersey Democratic Congressman Josh Gottheimer.
Mr. Zuckerberg, do you agree with Twitter that foreign terrorist organizations, as designated by the United States of America, belong on a social media platform?
Well, I think all American companies should comply with American law.
Twitter says they allow the group's political arms to maintain accounts, but accounts affiliated with their military wings are permanently suspended. In a letter, Twitter told lawmakers they make exceptions for organizations currently engaging in peaceful resolution processes. Reporting in Washington, Morgan Wright.
All right, well, what does our spooky forecast look like?
It's weather only a monster can love, I think, because we got a lot of rain out there and just kind of gloomy conditions, but we'll see some clearing by the time where it counts. We'll time out those details coming up next. You're watching NBC 10 News at 6.
News sponsored by Don Killen's Country Village.
Tuesday on NBC 10 News today, that much-anticipated fall weather is finally here. Our meteorologist Lexi Birmingham will have what to expect this week.
And if you're trying to get some more sun, our travel guru Jane Gunn has the perfect place for you. It all starts right here at 5.
That happens all the time.
Excuse me? No, it doesn't. You always alert me.
My point exactly. Cars that have forward-facing cameras need to be recalibrated when you replace the windshield.
How would I know that?
Most people don't. Next time, take it to Acme Glass and Mirror. They were the first one in the region that could replace your windshield and recalibrate your forward-facing camera. And unlike taking it to a dealership and paying out of pocket, Acme will bill your insurance. It's that easy.
Thanks. I'm going to Acme Glass and Mirror.
At Jim Taylor Ford, we are more than just an auto dealership. We are members of this great community in which we live. Since 2012, we've partnered with you to raise over $135,000 for our local schools. How do we do it? Ford donates $20 for every test drive taken during our local Drive for Your School events hosted by our dealership. Stay tuned for our upcoming events where you can experience what we're all about at Jim Taylor Ford Lincoln in Ruston.
The attacks against Governor Edwards are not only false,
they're hypocritical.
He's never supported releasing dangerous criminals, and we all know it.
Criminal justice reform is making Louisiana safer.
It's strongly supported by Republicans and Democrats.
Law enforcement professionals and business leaders.
Growing up in a fourth-generation law enforcement family
and a veteran,
Governor Edwards knows what it means to serve and protect.
The Louisiana Sheriff's Association is proud to endorse Governor Edwards.
Selfie?
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
What?
I think I forgot to lock my Buick. Got it.
At least your Buick's locked.
At the heart of every Buick Encore is you. Get this low-mileage lease on this 2019 Buick Encore for around $199 per month. Or get just over $4,300 below MSRP on this 2019 Buick Encore Preferred.
See your Monroe area Buick dealer.
News sponsored by Communa Health Services. New name, same quality care. Live Storm Tracker Doppler Radar, sponsored by bankruptcy attorney E. Orem Young. Now, your local weather with meteorologist Brian Briggs.
Well, good Monday to you. Hopefully your day was wonderful despite the cloud cover. Certainly felt like a Monday for a lot of us out there. And once again, just seeing that thick cloud cover sticking around for another last couple days or so. You can see on our visible satellite here, the lighter area, that is the actual clouds you're seeing. We do have clear skies off towards the south. So a little bit of a good sign there as the clouds are trying to clear. But all in all, they've just been really stuck over us the last couple days or so. That being said, temperatures have generally been cooler where those clouds have been sticking around for the day. Along and north of I-20, now we're seeing more 50s and 60s, and we have lower 60s off towards the south. So cool for all of us, whether you're seeing clouds or not. Live Storm Tracker Doppler Radar brought to you by Orem Young. Not showing anything, those clouds just not thick enough to really produce any sort of precipitation. But don't be fooled, the pattern is pretty active even right now. We do have a front off towards the northwest. This is going to be kind of one or two that we'll see over the next few days or so. This first one, though, really not doing too much for our weather in the next 24 hours or so. But it will get closer to us for Tuesday here, and you can see Future Tracker really not showing much until later Tuesday or so. But this boundary kind of lifts as a warm front, keeping a lot of the precip off towards our north and west, at least for Tuesday. But then as that better lift gets closer to us for Wednesday, that's when we'll see those showers and thunderstorms developing as early as Wednesday morning and then continuing through the vast majority of the day. So here's 5 o'clock Wednesday, cold front off towards the northwest, and you can just see kind of waves of showers and storms stick around even into Halloween morning. And yes, there will be rain behind this front, and it will impact a little bit of our Halloween weather. But Wednesday, though, there is the chance for some severe weather. We do have a marginal risk for the entire ArcLimis. This is for the threat for mainly damaging winds. So and cannot rule out maybe an isolated tornado, but damaging winds will be the primary concern as these storms move through. In addition to that, some of us could see some halfway decent rainfall, 1 to 2 inches along and north of I-20, 1 inch mainly south of I-20. So again, some of us could see soaking rain. We certainly need it, considering that it has been still dry and that drought has been getting worked down, but it's still there. So the moment we've all been waiting for, what's going to happen for Halloween? Well, we will have rain during the morning time. However, we'll start to see showers tapering through the afternoon and evening, and that cooler air really rushes in during that time too. So we'll drop from the middle 50s to the upper 40s during that prime trick-or-treating time, and it will be breezy too. So you might want to add in a couple extra layers underneath that costume if you're taking the kiddos out to trick-or-treat, as it won't be the best conditions for trick-or-treating. For tonight, though, going to be a mild one, going to be dropping into the middle 50s. We'll have those clouds around, and once again, it'll just be kind of another cloudy night. It'll be on the cooler side too, but a little bit warmer for tomorrow. Temperatures getting into the lower 70s. Again, that stray shower chance mainly for the evening into the overnight Tuesday. Most of the day will be dry, and most of the day will have clouds around. So the 7-day forecast shows that, well, that's the only really big system that we're keeping an eye on this week is that Tuesday, Wednesday, into Thursday one. And then we'll see really cool air spilling in behind that. And Friday morning, it is going to be cold for everybody. A lot of us will be in the mid-30s. So, yeah, more like winter weather than, you know, fall, but it's getting a little early this year, and we'll keep the cooler temperatures around through the weekend into next week with middle 50s to middle 60s during that time. So we will warm up a little bit. There will be a lot of sunshine and a few clouds from time to time during the weekend, but after this system moves through, we are looking pretty good.
That's good. All we care about is trick-or-treating. Hopefully the rain boots won't make costumes too ugly.
Right. Well, most of us will be dry, but, unfortunately, there's just that chance. And that, too, make sure, you all are prepared for that.
All right, thanks, Brian. Sports is next. Did the open date happen at the right time for ULM? Plus, how are Grambling coaches reacting following last Saturday's big win? Find out in just 2 minutes.